Hello, my dear ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the CXO show. It's a blood, sweat, tears stories. It's about an ordinary with inordinary passion human being. It's not a history, but it is his story. Let's welcome our today's guest, Mr. Rajesh Nath. He is a managing director of German Engineering Federation, called as VDMA India. He is having 30 plus years of experience across various industries in Germany and in India. He had been honored the highest civilian award from German president, called as Cross of Order of Merit.
Thank you.
Sir, it's really a great honor for us to have you on the show. Let's welcome once again, sir. We would like to hear more from you. Where did you started your career and how did you started it, please?
First of all, thank you very much, Hari, for this introduction, and thank you for having me on this show. A pleasure, and I feel privileged to be on this show with you. And my journey with VDMA started actually, I would say we had a strong connect with Germany from the beginning. My father had studied in Germany in the 50s. I had also gone to Germany as a child. Then my father used to speak very good German since he worked, and so I used to hear the language at my house many times. He used to get a call. He was working also for a German company in India in a very senior position. So I would say my childhood was somewhat or influenced by Germany and German language. So for me it was a sort of a natural choice, having a connect with Germany, since my father spent so many years in Germany. And I had the chance then to, after my graduation, I had a chance to actually go to Germany, start working in Germany. And I started my career with a German company actually, in a very small town and called Wulfrath. And that was very interesting, Hari, because I had gone from Calcutta. So Calcutta had about almost 12 to 14 million people. And I went to a town which hardly had 20,000.
Oh my goodness.
And especially on Sundays, I remember there were hardly any people on the road. So the area where I used to stay was almost empty. Then during my tenure, I also went to another smaller city, which was more it was a small city for German standards. For me, it was like a village, just with 4,000 people. And I was there for about almost 6 months. And I think in the 6 months, I knew the whole village itself.
Nice. That's nice.
Right. So that was how my journey started with Germany.
Can you also brief us early career and about your childhood days? What kind of activities you were doing? Sure.
So my childhood, I was born, Hari, in a very small town actually, since my father was connected to the steel industry. He was that time staying in a very small town called Barbil, which was the iron ore hub. So I was born in the Tata's hospital in Normandy. So because Barbil that time didn't have a hospital, so the nearest hospital was Normandy, which was almost about 40 kilometers away. And my mother still tells me that 40 kilometers took almost 2 hours because the roads were so bad in that area. So, and then I stayed in Bokaro, which is another steel city. In India, my earlier school days were in Bokaro, and then we shifted to Kolkata. And Kolkata, of course, I had a long tenure in Kolkata, and I did my schooling in Kolkata. And then I went to Germany in 1991. And I was in Germany from 91 to 96. I was in Germany. Basically, I worked with 2 German companies during that period. And then I came back to India. I worked in the steel industry for some time. And then I also worked, I had a brief stint of about 2 years in the power sector, energy sector.
That's great.
And those were the only 2 years where I was not connected with Germany. Otherwise, in my 35 years now, I have had almost 33 years connect with Germany.
We have been one in that iron ore
Right.
city,
Right.
you again got connected with
Right.
the same iron ore and the power sector
Right.
and your German connections.
Absolutely.
Now at VDMA.
Absolutely.
So that's really great. We also know that you are an alumni of IIM Calcutta.
Right.
So can you also tell us a little bit about VDMA
Right.
and the Indo German trade relationships?
Sure. So VDMA, friends, is the Association of the German Machinery and Plant Manufacturers. VDMA is the largest industrial association, not only in Germany, but you could say in whole of Europe, because we have about 3,600 companies as members of VDMA, out of which almost 300 are from Europe. We are headquartered in Frankfurt, and the turnover in 2023, the turnover of the VDMA members was about 264 billion euros.
264 billion euros. Okay.
Yes. And a good one characteristic of that is, Hari, almost 80% is the export, what the German companies have. So as the German engineering industry is very much dependent on exports.
Yes.
And that is why VDMA actually had the foresight way back 25 years ago to start looking at setting up offices in overseas market. And initially it was markets which would be little difficult for the members.
Yes.
Because in the developed countries it is easier to come in, but in the developing countries it is not so easy for German companies.
Yes.
So that's why our Indian operations started almost 25 years back, Harry. I've been more or less from the very beginning involved with this VDMA. Even I complete 25 years with VDMA
Congratulations.
this year.
Sir.
Thank
Best
you.
wishes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Hari.
Yes.
And another thing I'm very proud of is that normally we've seen historically German companies first went to China and then came to India. In our case, actually, VDMA started the office first in India. And after the success of Indian office, after 3-4 years, they started the office in China. So China is 20 years and we are 25 years actually now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. The aging economy of the European countries, especially the Germany, and the young age force, what the Indians have.
Absolutely.
Probably we also have a greater advantages in collaborating with the German companies.
Right.
Yeah, I think you are the bridge who are enabling the relationship to get stronger. Yes, thank you very much in that regard, sir.
Right.
Sir, also tell us, because I have seen you speaking, you attend Mr. Rajesh Nath, I think monthly there are many times you keep attending a lot of conferences, meeting, you be there in and out on the dais.
Right.
I have seen there is a different aura in your body language, in your speaking abilities, and the voice also, probably the mic loves your voice. So tell us, sir, how did you develop these skills?
So first of all, thank you, Hari, for these compliments. I think it's developed over a period of time. Of course, during my college days also, I used to participate in debates and all. I was quite, I used to happily participate in debates. And over the period of time, I think that way I've had luckily a lot of opportunities to present or be present on the stage on quite a few occasions. And I do try to do a little bit of a homework also, try to, before speaking, try to gauge what could be topics which would be of interest to the people, and then try to have the speech or presentation which is catering to the requirement of the people. And of course, sometimes my wife tells me, once you get the mic, you don't leave the mic. But I hope it's not so bad.
Not at all, not at all. Sir, tell me, because a lot of people in the management have to effectively communicate a lot of things. Can you give one advice on the effective communication?
Well, this is a very important question, and I'm happy that you asked this, Hari. So communication is very important, be it internal communication within the organization or external communication. And I think, especially in India, communication is a very difficult and sensitive topic. Because many times you may be wanting to convey a very simple message, but it is taken in a different sense. Be it by employees or be it by others also. So it is, I think it is really very challenging in India to have a very clear line of communication. despite of all efforts to make it as simple, but many times it gets misunderstood on the other side. So it is, I think this is one skill that all leaders need to develop, is how well to communicate and how to bring the message. But of course, I think it is very important. That's why I say a very good question, Hari. A leader should be able to communicate very clearly what is the vision of the organization or vision of the leader, and where does he want to lead the organization. Because it's always a team. The captain may be very good, but if he doesn't have the team to support it, the whole team will collapse. So I always say the captain is as good as the team. So it's the team has to be good to support the captain to go score a goal actually. And that is why I think it's very important to have a clear line of communication, clarity in communication, and Indians, we are very emotional also. So that is one case. In Germany it's much simpler, because there what you say is also understood very clearly. It's more or less black and white. Unfortunately here things get distorted and diverted a lot.
I think there's a deeper thought and very sensitive input also. Sir, I have seen one when you spoke about communication with clarity and all. Probably I understood this when I was interacting with one of the USA citizen, and he said, whenever I say yes, you have to always nod like this. Don't nod like this. No is like this only. So I could able to connect it. Why you said in Indian communication is little complex compared to other part of the globe. Yes. So can you please share us one interesting story? Either with your profession or in your personal life.
If you allow me, I would like to say two incidences, which I think have really, for the first incident really, I think gave me a lot of thinking, and it has helped to shape my career also. So when I was in Germany, Hari, I was in the small town I was telling you. So I had a mentor there, a German family whom I knew very well. So the person was almost 70 plus that time.
Oh my God,
So I used to work in a cement factory there. It was part of my induction. So he asked me, what time do you go to the factory? So Germany, in fact, it starts quite early. People go early. So 7:30 actually the factory used to start. So I used to tell him I reached there by 7:28, 7:25. He says, okay. And when do the others reach? I said, everybody is reaching within 7:25 to 7:28, 7:30 the factory starts. So he says, you are reaching 7:28, others are also reaching 7:25, 7:28. So where do you distinguish yourself? You are one amongst the many. He says, if you reach the factory by 7:10, 7:15, you stand out. And I think this really made me reflect, and really has, I think, to a large extent shaped my career also. That, see, it's very easy to be one amongst the many. How you can really excel is you have to stand out or distinguish yourself. And this was a very simple example. When I am there at 7:10, there's nobody else. So even if say the boss comes little early, he says this is the person who is showing interest in the job. And a very simple example. This is one example, and
great message, sir. A great message. Thank you for sharing this. I'm eager to listen to the second one.
So